Welcome to Copper Hills High School for this edition of High School Rewind, available only on Xfinity On Demand as the Copper Hills Grizzlies prepare to host the Brighton Bengals in a Region 3 contest. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you tonight's game, and this is going to be an entertaining one. We'll start with the visiting Brighton Bengals. This is a team that comes in here 10-11 overall, 4-4 in region play, but don't let those numbers deceive you. This is a really good Brighton team led by Brock Miller, and an outstanding scorer for the Brighton Bengals, averaging over 17 points per game coming into this contest. Coming off a great game against the Bingham Miners, he scored 26 points and hit 3 triples in that game for the Bengals. But it's not just Brock Miller you have to account for. A couple familiar names from the gridiron this season is Osa Messina and Chandler Gee. Both of these two major contributors for the Bengals on the hardwood this season. Messina second on the team in scoring, averaging double figures, and Chandler Gee coming in at third. Those two were great for the football team this year. They've been very good for the basketball team this year, providing a little balance and some backup for Miller, who's done the primary scoring or been in that primary role for the Bengals. We'll switch side and talk a little bit now about the Grizzlies. They come in, it's been an impressive season for Copper Hills overall. They're 12-7 on the season, 5-3 in Region 3 play, and that is good for right now being tied as the number 2 team in Region 3, coming off a big victory over the Alta Hawks. And that Alta Hawks team, that was a top 2 team here in 5A prior to that game, and it was an 84-61 victory for the Grizzlies, and had very balanced scoring themselves. This is a team that has some nice senior leadership, but they have a few cubs, as it were, a couple of young kids that are really putting in some big minutes and having big contributions for the Grizzlies this season. We're going to give you a couple names to watch for here tonight. Starts with Preston Sanchez, the sophomore. Watch for him to kind of lead the team here for Copper Hills. And then the big man down low, the 6'7", 210-pound sophomore, that's Porter Hawkins. Watch for him. This kid, he certainly provides a post presence and a big man down in the post on both ends of the floor. We talked about some of the senior leadership for these Copper Hills Grizzlies, and Mitch Ayers had a great season so far for Copper Hills. Look for him to provide a little senior leadership as these Grizzlies look to close out their season, obtain a very favorable seeding out of this very difficult Region 3, but they're going to have to go through the Brighton Bengals here tonight. As we mentioned, going to be a good one coming up here next on High School Rewind. Ready to tip here from Copper Hills High School. The Grizzlies in their home whites and the visiting Bengals in the road blue with orange trim. On the jump, it's going to be Bowen Smith for Brighton, going up against the 6'6" senior Mitch Ayer for Copper Hills. And it's Ayer who's able to tip it into the backcourt, controlled by Trevor Hoffman. We're underway as Hoffman brings it up the floor. Being guarded by Gee, and that's a familiar position for Gee. He was a corner for Brighton on the football team. We will certainly get into him later. What a block there by Osa Messina, trying to save it, and does so to Brock Miller. Miller now brings it up the other way, looking for Smith underneath. That's broken up by Ayer and turned over. Couple turnovers on the first 2 possessions, as now Hoffman looks to set up the offense. Far side, Zach Hoffman, excuse me. Lofted pass to Sanchez. He'll come back to Trevor Hoffman, the sophomore guard. Now Zach Hoffman, the senior. From the elbow, nice pump fake put on, then kicked back out by Porter Hawkins. Talk about him in the open. The drive here by Trevor Hoffman is knocked out off of Brighton. Looking to inbound, does so to Ayer, being guarded by Messina. Ayer able to dribble around, goes up, that hits the back of the iron. Rebound, back up and scoring it is Porter Hawkins. And the sophomore center logs the first points of the night for the Grizzlies as Brock Miller now brings it up the floor. Miller looking to drive and goes glass. Nice job by Bowen Smith. Yeah, it was Smith, excuse me, able to set up the screen that Miller was able to use. Ayer over penetration from Messina. That one was too hard. Rebounded by Smith, and a foul on the board going to be called here on Copper Hills. That foul called on Porter Hawkins. That was his first team foul for Copper Hills. Is Gee going to throw this one over to Eric Benyon. Benyon finds himself with it again on that far side as the ball now up top with Miller. Screen set. Smith was rolling to the hoop, but nice job on the defense. And now slow to get back. Going glass is Bowen Smith. The screen eventually paid off as Smith went to the hole. Miller was able to hold it long enough to get it back to him underneath. Now a long jumper by Sanchez. That's off the mark. Osa Messina with it. Looking to drive against Iyer. Goes lefty. And Osa Messina gives the Bengals a 6-2 lead here just a couple minutes into this ball game. Drive that time by Zach Hoffman, closed off nicely by this Bengal D. Now up top with Sanchez. Back again to Zach Hoffman. Now Trevor. Gonna put it on the floor. Nice find as he's able to get it to Iyer, but that shot couldn't fall. Iyer able to pick up the loose ball. Going glass again. And it's Mitch Iyer for Copper Hills. A little bit of confusion here. It looks like Benyon was a little slow to get into the set. Over to Brock Miller now. Gonna put it on the floor. Boy, that's a good drive. It's Brock Miller saying he was fouled in the act of shooting. Is this foul going to be called on Sanchez? Foul was called on Sanchez. Brock Miller made his first free throw. Second attempt is here. And Miller able to knock it down. 8-4 now the lead as we had a substitution for Copper Hills. Coming in was Brooks Bailey. Sanchez driving, and he gets fouled as Preston Sanchez now will head to the line to shoot two. Foul was called on Chandler Gee. His first is at the line. Sanchez able to knock them both down. 8-6 advantage for the Bengals as Gee brings it up. Trevor Hoffman on him. Ball worked along the perimeter. Now Miller. Messina. He can hit that long shot. That's not something you want to play off of him too much. The drive, trying to get it underneath to Smith. Able to save the possession as Chandler Gee from a step inside the arc. Can't get it to fall. There's Smith on the board, and he got fouled by Iyer. It was actually Messina who got fouled. A valuable lesson for all test takers. You always stick with your first intuition. It was Bowen Smith who heads to the line. Goes 1 of 2 as he made the first one, missed the second. Messina with the rebound, count the bucket, and Osa Messina to go to the line to shoot one. On Mitch Iyer is Osa Messina. Missed the front of the iron, and that one brought in by Trevor Hoffman. It bounced around a little bit. Now the drive the other way by Hoffman. Zach Hoffman able to go glass, and it's 11-8 advantage Brighton. Couple Grizzlies to check in at the next whistle. As now it's Bowen Smith working the post on Iyer. Yeah, right now Iyer playing with two. Go right at him. Is this Brock Miller who creates some contact, gets the call, and Miller will go to the line to shoot. Foul was on Hoffman as Miller made his first free throw. We'll show you his second attempt right here. Good. Well, that's a lengthy possession for Brighton that time. Able to get several points on the boards. We had some substitutions coming in. We will call out those names as the play heads their ways. Too many to count. Now kicked outside. Thought about the three. Instead, it's Charlie Olsen with the drive. Now back to Hoffman. Boy, contact there. No call. And then the block. That time made by John Gramillion. And then another block here. Right now, the defense of Brighton is playing very, very well as Copper Hills looks to inbound, and a foul called away from the ball here. Going to be called on Gee, his second. Second team foul on the Bengals. 5 team fouls for Copper Hills. Still 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. As working the drive was Charlie Olsen. Gave it back to the Bengals. Now it's Gee, and how about Olsen picking the pocket from behind? Boy, what a nice play by the sophomore Charlie Olsen. Down the other way quickly, and a foul here as it was Porter Hawkins who got fouled by Messina. Benyon and Smith both check in for Brighton. Foul was called on Messina. This ball thrown into Hoffman. Now near side, back up top, working that perimeter. Nice recognition by Hoffman, dribbling it into the free throw line, but couldn't get enough separation on the wing for the shot. See this defense. Nice pass there, getting underneath, and Hawkins' shot is blocked away. And then loose ball turned over back to Copper Hills. McCombs checks in for Copper Hills, 2.5 left to play here. In the opening quarter, 13-8 advantage to the blue and orange, that being the Brighton Bengals. Screen set by Hawkins. How about Sanchez? That time, nice drive, though that spin wouldn't come off the rim kindly for Copper Hills. Rolls out, Miller from just inside the three-point arc. Asking for the foul, no help from the officials as that bucket is good. This is Olsen. From just inside the elbow, that shot was long. And it's Miller who comes down with the board. And then there's Olsen for his second steal of the game. Going glass, and that one spins out on him. And then the foul going to be called here on Olsen. Charlie Olsen picking it up. Already the 6th team foul on Copper Hills. 1:40 left here in the first quarter. So here's Smith with it, hands off back to Miller. Again, from a step inside the arc, that time left it short. Now trying to chase it down, couldn't get there, but a nice hustle by Derek DeVageray. Couldn't keep it in play. Another Gridiron Stars just checked in for Brighton as Simi Fahoko, number 1, has come in. Just a sophomore, 6'3". He's got a bright future in a couple of sports. As here's a three-pointer on the way. That shot was long. Trying to chase down the rebound is Olsen, but couldn't get there. Gramillion has checked in for Brighton with 1:10 left. 15-8. Bengals out in front. This is DeVageray inside. Getting contact. Count the bucket. And head to the line will be John Gramillion to shoot one. Foul was called on Hawkins as Gramillion tries to add on a freebie, can't get it. Rebound brought in by Bailey Brooks. As Sanchez working off the Hawkins screen, that closed off nicely by Gramillion. That ball handed back to Brooks. Sanchez gives it back. Olsen now, drive closed off, and a foul called here on Eric Benyon. Carter Matheson is checked in for Brighton as Miller will get a breather here near the end of the first. Nice drive, that time put on. A foul going to be called here, I believe, on Fahoko. Foul called on Brighton. That's 12 fouls in the first quarter. That's a lot. Over to Sanchez. We're down to 25 seconds left now, back up top with Charlie Olsen. He's content to hold it out. Fahoko comes up, gonna try to make him do something. In the corner, looking for the trap, couldn't get there. Ball put on, then kicked back out to Sanchez. Clock's down to 6. Sanchez from 18, couldn't get it to fall. Nice follow, going glass, and again it spun out on him. Rebounded by DeVageray, and the quarter has come to a close. 17-8, the Bengals off to a good start here at Copper Hills. Start of the second quarter, and Brighton will start with the possession and a 9-point lead as Chandler Gee back on. Looking the way of Miller. Boy, that's good defense put on by Zach Hoffman. And Miller, what a difficult shot Brock Miller is able to hit. You can see why he's scoring at such a prolific rate right now. Not much you can do on that one. This ball handed off to Hoffman. Back up top now with McCombs. Zach Hoffman on the drive. Got called. We've got a foul here on the floor going against Brighton. Foul on Benyon as he heads to the bench. DeVageray comes on for Brighton. That was the 6th team foul, so we're shooting free throws from here on out in this half. Both ways. Up top. Trevor Hoffman. Far side to Zach. Hawkins kicks it out. Finally able to get that ball in the perimeter. Boy, what a nice pump fake. Going glass and scoring for Copper Hills is Bailey Brooks. Miller Boy, that kid is feeling good tonight. Is a long three-pointer for Brock Miller, makes it 22-10. And Miller already in double figures as this take foul called. Bailey Brooks will head to the line. 1-1 for Brooks as that was the third foul on Gee. This is the first free throw at the line for Bailey Brooks. Comes out much like the ball has for much of that first quarter. And then another foul here as picking up the rebound was McCombs. And now he heads to the line for 1-1. Simi Fehoko has checked in. He's at the line. McCombs made his first one. Second attempt came out on him. Rebounded by Smith, and now a dangerous precedent has been set as Brighton fans screaming for a foul. Fehoko, boy, a dangerous pass nearly turned over that Miller's able to chase down. And a tough shot, foul called. And this one gonna go against Zach Hoffman. 6.5 left. Brock Miller at the line. Saw a second one there, 24-11 for the Bengals. There's a couple of substitutions. Evans and Sanchez both come on for Copper Hills. Of course, Copper Hills, we've mentioned the foul situation, the free throw shooting in that game against Alta. They shot 45 free throws. They made 37 of them. Pretty impressive night at the line for Copper Hills. Here's a long three by Fehoko, left it short. He's pulling in the board was Benyon. Can't get that shot, then able to strip it. The pass over to Devagere, going glass. And Derek Devagere able to give the Bengals a 15-point lead. 5:40 left here in the opening half. Points are not coming easily for the Grizzlies. That ball turned over. They were trying to get it inside to Austin Evans. Fast break, Devagere kicks it out, and an offensive foul called on Derek Devagere. Bucket's no good. Trevor Hoffman with it now for Copper Hills. Of course, can't say Trevor Hoffman without thinking of the great pitcher. Different sport though. And this ball ruled out off of Brighton's Fehoko. Copper Hills inbound out of the timeout. Sanchez gets it over to Hoffman. Brooks from about 8 feet, couldn't get it to drop. Rebounded by Evans. That shot is blocked. Nice play defensively by Bowen Smith. Outside, an open three-pointer. That shot was long from McCombs. Able to be saved. Nice job there by Brooks as Sanchez able to chase it down. Over to Trevor Hoffman now. Up top. Screen set by Evans. Boy, Brighton has defended that so well. It's a drive by Sanchez, and he gets fouled. This foul going to be called on, not Devagere, on Benyon. Olsen is checked on for Copper Hills as Sanchez made his first, missed his second. Rebounded by Brighton. 26-12. Bengals with the advantage. Miller going to throw this one back over to Devagere on the drive from 6. That one rimmed out on him. Boy, then nearly turned over as Fehoko was there, but couldn't bring it in for Brighton. Now here's the take, and that shot is blocked away, believed by Fehoko. Length of this Brighton team is causing some issues. Here's a three-pointer for Copper Hills. That one is good from Charlie Olsen. As we approach the midway point here of the second quarter, 26-15. Brighton out in front is Miller just dribbling it away. Now with Smith at the elbow. It's Olsen who collapsed down on him. It's Brighton now back up top with Miller. We're going to drive, pull up. Boy, good defense that time. Put on by Bailey Brooks. Now an odd man situation. Reverse lay-in that just comes off for Sanchez, and he couldn't believe it. Now he's got to hustle back. As Miller had that one initially knocked away. Brighton would have liked a foul, nothing there. Into the post. That one just got over the rim from John Gramillion. Quickly down the other way, and Gramillion nearly forcing the turnover. Was able to recover was Brooks. Now a three-pointer, another one for Charlie Olson. And a timeout taken as it's 28-18, Brighton in front, but Copper Hills starting to get in the rhythm of this game. Brighton now brings the ball up the floor with DeVageray. 3 minutes left here in the first half. DeVageray got it back, going up, able to go glass. So he was able to get it over Sanchez. Talented sophomore, but at only 5'11", that's a difficult position to put your sophomore guard in. Not much choice there as DeVageray just able to out-length them down low. Olson with it now. Of course, a couple big three-pointers here in the second quarter. Fehoko guarding him. Boy, how about that take? That is a strong take. Olson couldn't get it to fall, but stays with it. And Charlie Olson able to go glass and keep this a 10-point lead for Brighton. That's a nice display on that possession by the sophomore guard. Mentioned a lot of sophomore talent for this Copper Hills squad. Olson, Sanchez, Trevor Hoffman, and Porter Hawkins, all contributors and all sophomores as Messina with the take. Couldn't get it to fall. Fehoko comes up with a loose ball and able to float that one in. 32-20 now. Now a little extended pressure by Messina. Back to Trevor Hoffman and Bailey Brooks now. Little two-man game as they're trying to tire Messina out. Boy, he almost got that one from the free throw line. Austin Evans. Nice looking jumper there by the senior forward, Austin Evans. That's another thing that this Copper Hills team has, a lot of height. Evans at 6'7", Hawkins at 6'7", and Mitch Iyer at 6'6". Of course, Iyer's had a lot of foul trouble in this first half as Miller had that shot skip across like a rock. Now pushing it the other way, finding a hole and taking it to the hoop is Bailey Brooks. 1 minute left. We mentioned Copper Hills finally starting to get in the feel of the game. It's 32-24. The game feels a little closer than that as Brighton has been in control, but right now Copper Hills able to get to the boards, push it up a little bit, and create some points. 45 seconds left for Miller. Of course, this Brighton team not afraid to hold it. They've employed this strategy in state tournaments, much to the chagrin of some in the state. Messina now going to battle this one back out as 30 seconds remain. DeVageray now being hounded by Sanchez. Back to Osa. Osa, haven't talked about him in depth. Of course, a talented football player, has offers from pretty much, well, if you're a fan of college football, your school's offered him. That's about his offer list right now as DeVageray picks up his dribble over to Osa. Messina looking to drive, and that's an offensive foul on Osa Messina. How about Bailey Brooks stepping in and taking that from a big tractor down low in Messina. Foul on Osa Messina with just 6 seconds left in the half. Boy, that's too bad for Brighton. Tough screen set there by Austin Evans. Going to the hoop and again left it short as that ball rebounded by Smith. Couldn't get it fall, but a nice take by Zach Hoffman. That's how the first half ends. 32-24. The Bengals out in front at the half. Grizzlies will start this second half with the possession, trailing 32-24. It's Trevor Hoffman. A nice ball, getting the ball quickly to Iyer, and he hits that one from the elbow. Mitch Iyer, talked about, did not play a lot in that second quarter, mainly due to foul trouble, and now on the other end, Osa Messina going right after him. Missed the shot, rebounded by Smith, couldn't get that to fall, and then the loose ball picked up by Trevor Hoffman. Down quickly the other way. Zach Hoffman backs it out. Boy, dangerous pass. And Brock Miller is all over. Down the other way and coming back from behind with Sanchez to block it. Ball being batted around is Chandler Gee and then intercepted by Trevor Hoffman as he tried to get it back to Miller in the corner. Boy, impressive intensity from the Grizzlies here in just the first minute of this second half. They need that. A drive put on here, going up. That shot a little short, followed and put back by big Porter Hawkins. And a timeout taken by Brighton. 4 quick points. It's 32-28. Bengals still in front. Looking to inbound, a dangerous inbound pass that Gee's able to get a hold of. Putting pressure on was Zach Hoffman. Up top with Gee. Miller tried that cut along the baseline. He got fouled by Trevor Hoffman. Looking to inbound, and they do so back out to Gee. Looking to drive, and Chandler Gee able to float that one up and over for the first points for the Bengals here in this second half. Pair of twos now, Hoffman and Gee. On the perimeter. Now Zach over to Trevor. Looking to drive. Boy, nice idea. Try to get it back to Mitch Iyer. But Gee was there to come away with it. Going end to end. And count. No, offensive foul on Chandler Gee. Foul on Chandler Gee. As Eric Benyon checks in. That is him defending Hoffman. Now Iyer around the perimeter to Hawkins. Iyer coming around, going glass. That shot was too hard. Had all sorts of pressure by the Bengals. And then that one turned over to Sanchez. Does not have favorable numbers, though. He attacks the hoop. And the foul call. I think this is going to go against Osa. That'll be 4 on Messina. Gramillion has come on for the Bengals as Sanchez at the line made his first free throw. Second attempt good as well. The sophomore has been smooth from the charity stripe here tonight. It's 34-30 Brighton. Messina and Gee both on the bench for the Bengals with 4 fouls apiece as this ball is turned over. Nice move there by Zach Hoffman, feeding it to Trevor, going up, and another foul going to be called here on Bowen Smith as Trevor Hoffman now to the line to shoot. Comes on for Copper Hills, Fehoko. On for Brighton. Is at the line. Trevor Hoffman made his first. Second one good as well. 34-32. Closest the Grizzlies have been since very early in that first quarter. Sanchez with the D. Here's a jumper taken by Gramillion, rimmed out on him. With the follow, Devagere couldn't get it to fall, and it's Sanchez who comes out of the pack with it. Looking to push it for Copper Hills. In the key, that one stripped away, and it's Brock Miller now who's going to lead it the other way for Brighton. What a pass inside to Devagere, and he gets fouled by Iyer. Iyer, he heads to the bench. Austin Evans on for him. Devagere at the line, made his first. Second attempt, rimmed in. Sanchez and Hoffman going to lead this one up. Finds its way to Brooks and a kick ball. Charlie Olsen is checked in for Copper Hills. Zach Hoffman will catch a breather. Boy, what a nice floater by Bailey Brooks. And Copper Hills right now with some of that length of Brighton on the bench with foul trouble, able to get the ball inside. Miller kicked out, three-pointer on the way. That was too long. Rebounded by Sanchez. Looking for a foul. No foul called. The Copper Hills bench can't believe it. It'll be Brighton basketball. Ball inbounded to Gramillion. And then a foul called down low on Copper Hills. This one going against Brooks. Nice inbound play to Fehoko, who got fouled, and Simi Fehoko now to the line to shoot two as it's Trevor Hoffman with the foul. Fehoko missed his first free throw. Second attempt right here. Good. The lead is now 3 for Brighton. 37-34, approaching the midway point here in this third quarter. We've reverted back to our first quarter foul situation. 4 fouls for Copper Hills, 3 on the Bengals. That's team foul situation. This ball kicked out. 3-pointer from Charlie Olson. His 3rd of the game. And we're knotted up. 37 apiece. And now the crowd cheering on the Grizzlies. And that ball stolen by Sanchez. Has numbers if he hurries. Attack in the middle. Going glass, but too long. This ball lofted down now to Brock Miller. Inside, and a foul called underneath. I think this is going to go on Hoffman. 3rd foul on Trevor Hoffman as McCombs has checked in. Brock Miller missed his first free throw, and the second one is good. Boy, Brighton starting to experience a little bit what Copper Hills did in that first half. A lot of shots that are rimming out on them. 38-37. On the drive. That shot never had a chance. Austin Evans blocked away by Fehoko. And it's Gramillion who comes up with it, able to outlet to Fehoko. In the corner now, DeVageray trying to get this ball in. A jump ball that's caused by Austin Evans. It'll stay here with Brighton. Nice shot by the senior Austin Evans. Able to get a hand on that, stick with it, create the jump ball. Even though it will stay here with the Bengals. Brock Miller from 17, no good. Ball being batted around. Fehoko thought he had it. Now still on the floor, and it's Brock Miller who gets fouled. And they're going to call it on Sanchez. Big call there. Sanchez, I thought that was at least his 3rd, but his 2nd. The 6th team foul on Copper Hills. That means Brighton shooting the rest of the way in this ball game. And then a travel down low on Gramillion. Sanchez being guarded by Miller. Over to Olson. He's been on fire from beyond the arc. 3 triples for Charlie Olson this game. Now they tried to set a screen for him. Evans did, but sticking right with it was DeVageray, I believe. In the corner. Dribbling it out as McCombs. He's going to fire from straight away. And it's Bryson McCombs. And Copper Hills on top, 40-38. Boy, who would have thought this? They trailed by as many as 12. And here with 2 minutes to go, having the lead. Brock Miller trying to change that. Hits the back of the iron, rebounded by DeVageray. And then a foul from behind, going to be called on Bailey Brooks. Free throw was good from DeVageray. We'll show you his 2nd here. Shooting the 1-and-1, made them both. Knotted up, 40 apiece with 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. As getting ready to check in is Porter Hawkins for Copper Hills. Sanchez being guarded by Miller. Boy, nice take that time by Olson. Left it short on the rebound. Evans kicks it back, and the little 6-footer wouldn't drop. Rebounded again by Evans. That's 2 offensive rebounds for Austin Evans, the senior, on this possession. Sanchez now looking to drive on Miller, and a foul here going to be called on the Bengals. Miller. Hawkins on for Copper Hills. Gramillion on for Brighton. Hawkins inbound. Gets it up top with Sanchez. Minute 30 left. Zone defense here by the Bengals. Up top, Benyon and Miller. It's Copper Hills trying to work that perimeter. Screen set. Olson for 3. Charlie Olson! His 4th 3-pointer of the game. And it's all set up by a screen. I believe it was Bryson McCombs who set the pick on the high zone and allowed the space for Olson. Then underneath, we've got a foul call as it was Smith who had it. And the foul here, it will be Benyon Smith to shoot 1-and-1. Excuse me, it's Bowen Smith. Been calling Eric Benyon. I just got him confused. He missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Rebounded by Copper Hills. 43-40, less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Copper Hills trailed by 8 to start this 3rd quarter. They now hold a 3-point lead. They trailed by as many as 12. And it's been the shooting of Charlie Olson. He has hit 4 3-pointers in this ball game. Not the sophomore we highlighted, but certainly a talented one for the Grizzlies as we're down to 30 seconds left. Fehoko, boy, picked the pocket, now giving chase all the way down. Fehoko was able to save it, though Sanchez was back, as was McCombs. Now if they push it, they've got an advantage, though Fehoko able to get back. Sanchez, boy, that's a tough shot. Missed it. Hawkins fighting for the board. Coming up with it is McCombs. And then a timeout going to be taken with 11 seconds left here by Copper Hills. 11 seconds left for Copper Hills. This ball thrown in to Brooks. Now it's Sanchez. Down to 8 seconds left. Looking to drive on Miller. Sanchez going glass. No good. Loose ball brought in by Gramillion. Up ahead to Fehoko. He's going to have to throw one up. That shot was no good. Quarter expires. It was a good one for the Grizzlies. They trailed by 8. Now they lead by 3 as we head to the fourth. Start of the fourth quarter. It was a 19-8 advantage for Copper Hills in the third. Allowed them to have this 3-point lead as we start the fourth and final period. Zach Hoffman being guarded by Gee. Hoffman now finds some space, though that was cut off well by Bowen Smith. Now up top, it's Brooks. Content to, well, now he's going to attack a little bit, trying to get around Miller, couldn't do so. Now back up top. Drive put on here, and a foul on the drives. It was Zach Hoffman able to get inside the key and draw the contact. Bowen Smith, second foul at the line. Hoffman made them both. 45-40, Copper Hills out in front. DeVageray turns it back inside, picked up his dribble, had to kick it out. Now Miller. Boy, and what a nice play that time by Bailey Brooks, able to get a hand on the ball and force the turnover. Brooks now looking to drive on Miller, kicked it outside. Uh-oh! And Charlie Olson lets out a collective cheers. He heads down the floor. He's giving the Grizzlies an 8-point lead, 48-40. Timeout, Brighton. You go back to that first meeting between these two teams earlier in the year. It was very similar. It was tied after one. Then Copper Hills would outscore Brighton the rest of the way, including in each quarter. This take by Osa Messina. He gets fouled, and he will head to the line to shoot two, excuse me. Foul was on Sanchez, his third. Messina at the line. Made the first, and the second one, like many free throws have in this second half, rims out. Sanchez across the timeline. Looking to drive and does so. Boy, look at that athleticism, though he couldn't get it to fall as he just dribbled right past Benyon. Now Messina going to bring the ball up the floor. Kicked outside. Benyon for three. No good. Rebounded by Olson. He has really been on a tear for the Grizzlies. 6 minutes left and a 7-point lead for the home team, trying to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Sanchez now going to back this out, and with a 7-point lead, he's not really in dire need of pushing it. Now Benyon going to have to come up. Looking to drive the ball here was Hoffman. Now back over to Sanchez. Over to Hoffman. And again, Brighton going to play that zone. Boy, dangerous pass as Benyon was going for the steal. Now on the floor. How about that pass by Sanchez? Now they've got some numbers. Attacking the hoop. Count the bucket by Zach Hoffman. That is senior experience right there as he heads to the line to shoot the free throw. He has picked up his 5th foul. He is fouled out of this game as Hoffman at the line makes the free throw. The lead is up to 10 for Copper Hills. And who would have thought when they trailed by double digits themselves? Osa Messina now. Boy, tried to thread a pass in to Gramillion, and it was turned over instead. Now Sanchez Boy, had that one knocked away from behind. Hits the deck. Now Messina trying to get on the fumble. Ball still around. Eventually picked up by Evans, and now a jump ball. That's a nice tackle by the number 7 outside linebacker in the country as Messina going for the ball. It's a clean play. Jump ball, possession arrow will go to Brighton. Boy, at that time, woo, the inbound to DeVageray. They almost entered the backcourt. It was close. Now Miller with the baseline drive. He gets fouled by Sanchez, and that will be the 4th foul on Sanchez. Miller made his first free throw. It's the 10th foul on Copper Hills, so it's double bonus the rest of the way. Miller can't make his second. And the free throw shooting woes continue for the Bengals here in this second half. 4:40 left, 51-42, and that time being trapped is Hoffman able to get rid of it. Boy, and barely, and excuse me, it wasn't Hoffman, it was actually Brooks. Trying to go back to Brooks, turned it over. Boy, nice play made along the sideline by Benyon, able to keep the ball in play as DeVageray kicks it out to Miller, closed out by Olsen. Now Miller gonna try the 3. Left it short, that ball tapped out off of Brighton, and to Copper Hills it goes. Brooks to inbound, looking for somewhere to go. 5 seconds, he turned it over. John Gramillion now has come on for the Bengals. Messina around the Gramillion screen, kick back out to DeVageray, trying to drive. Gramillion gonna fire the 3. John Gramillion! A big 3-pointer for the Bengals, draws them to within 6 with 4 minutes left here in the contest. 51-45, threaded pass to Sanchez, going the other way to Evans. Boy, close, and then Miller nearly forced the turnover. Austin Evans at the right place at the right time. And now we've got whistle timeout taken by Brighton as things start to get a little chippy. Olsen looking to inbound, does so to Brooks. Olsen, boy, recognizes the space and goes to the hoop. And Charlie Olsen adds 2 more on the scoreboard to add to his very nice shooting night. Miller with the drive and a touch foul. As Miller now will head to the line. Miller made his first free throw. His second attempt here. Good. Fehoko has come on for the Bengals. Trevor Hoffman on for Copper Hills has nearly turned over. Copper Hills fans wanted a foul. They'll get one here on Brock Miller. Sanchez to the line to shoot 1-1. Foul on Miller. Sanchez made his first free throw, his second attempt here. Sophomore's been good from the line today, makes them both. 55-47, 3:20 remaining. As DeVageray brings the ball up, of course Chandler Gee is fouled out of this game as Sanchez gets a hand on that and knocks it out. Zach Hoffman checks in for Copper Hills, looking to go in the post to Messina. They are able to do so. And the Olsen collapse made it difficult. Messina able to go glass. Nice bucket there by the junior, and then foul here. If this is on Osa, that's going to be 5. It won't be. It's going to be on Benyon. 1-1 now for Trevor Hoffman with a 6-point lead, and he missed it. That was the front end, so no points for Copper Hills. Back down with Brighton. 3 minutes left. Miller hands this off back to Miller in the corner. And he stepped on the sideline, turned it over. Looking to inbound here. Able to do so to Olsen. Gets around Fehoko. Lofts it ahead to Sanchez. He will wisely pull it back out with 2:50 left to play. Help coming. Boy, look at Sanchez dribble through. What an athletic shot. Missed it. It's Hawkins going back up. And Porter Hawkins, a big sophomore, extends the lead to 8. Now Messina the other way. Count the bucket. Osa Messina to the line as the blocking call goes against Porter Hawkins. 1 free throw for Messina, able to make it within 5. Trevor Hoffman able to dribble through the pressure. Now he'll come out, and the foul here on Derek DeVageray. Trevor Hoffman now to the line to shoot 1-1. Hoffman made his first. He's awarded a second here with 2:28 left. That one good as well. It's a 7-point lead for the home team. Miller gonna work around the screen. Formosa, 3-pointer by Brock Miller. Can't get it to fall. Rebound by Charlie Olson. And they've got a man down if they can get it to him. Sanchez gonna lay it in. Now the Bengals in some real trouble, trailing by 9, 2 minutes left. Miller inside. Boy, that's beautiful defense in the post by Hawkins as he stood straight up, took the contact, made a difficult shot on Miller as Olson, oh man, what beautiful passing, and it's Hawkins who's the benefactor. How about Olson not giving up on the play, and then a turnover by Brighton. Under 2 minutes to play. Grizzly basketball. Brighton extending this pressure again, able to dribble through it was Trevor Hoffman. Dangerous pass that Sanchez is able to get a hand on. Now looking to dribble inside. Boy, another difficult shot by Sanchez. That rolled off, and then a foul here called on the rebound on Porter Hawkins. Both free throws good for John Gramillion. Copper Hills able to get it in. Dangerous pass turned over, and then right back to Bailey Brooks, who got fouled. Bailey Brooks, one of only 2 juniors on this Copper Hills squad, made his first free throw. We'll show you his second attempt here. Good as well. We mentioned the 37 of 45 free throw shooting in the victory over Alta for the Copper Hills Grizzlies. And they've shot impressively again tonight from the free throw line as Messina going to put up a 3. No good. Rebounded by Devagere. Messina now with a baseline pass. Corner 3 on the way, and good for Eric Benyon, and a quick timeout taken by Brighton. 1:02 left, 65-57 Grizzlies. Looking to inbound, does so. Boy, nice job breaking that as Brooks able to find the open man. Beautiful passing, and it's Sanchez who goes glass. Boy, nice shot that time by Preston Sanchez as had a guy come in from behind. Had to get it off and did a beautiful job as that three-pointer missed. Messina with the putback, and he's able to get it to drop. Inbounded quickly to Trevor Hoffman. Throws this ball up to Iyer, and he gets fouled by Devagere. Mitch Iyer made his first free throw. Here's his second. Missed it. 33 seconds left. 9-point lead for Copper Hills as Osa Messina looking to attack hard. Boy, and they're going to call a foul here on Iyer. He can't believe it. It looked like Osa just stepped around him, but instead it will be Messina to the line for 2. Messina made both free throws at 68-61. This ball lofted in to Brooks. Nice bounce pass over to Hawkins, going glass. Lead back up to 9, 15 left. Miller just looking to drive. Copper Hills will give it to him. Inbound, turned over. Messina going hard to the hoop. Missed it. There's Miller for the putback and a timeout with 5.5 left. It's 70-55 Copper Hills. We had a technical foul as the Bengals called a timeout, but they didn't have any. They went 1 of 2 at the line. That inbound was tipped and fell into the hands of Hawkins, and now Trevor Hoffman. That'll do it. The Copper Hills Grizzlies have punched a ticket to the state tournament with a 71-65 victory over the Brighton Bengals. Again, our final score here from Copper Hills High School. The Copper Hills Grizzlies with a 71-65 victory over the Brighton Bengals. And boy, it does not get any more story of 2 halves than we saw here tonight. The Brighton Bengals really came out and they got off to a nice start in this game. They actually led 17-8 after 1. It was hot shooting by Brock Miller. A lot of free throws for the Bengals. As we mentioned the fouls early on in this one, the Bengals were in the bonus shooting free throws at the end of the first quarter. They certainly took advantage of that as they built up that lead. It got as big as 12 in that first half. Copper Hills was able to make a couple plays late in that second quarter. Kind of felt like was starting to get in the feel a little bit. Charlie Olson, we're going to talk about him in a minute. We had a pair of 3-pointers in that second quarter to keep this thing within striking distance. It would be an 8-point lead for the Bengals as we went to the break. And it was a little bit of a longer halftime here at Copper Hills. And I don't want to, not saying that played anything into it, but Brighton, well, they were not shooting the ball in the second half like they were in the first. Brock Miller had some good looks, but he was contested much more. We saw a pickup of energy from the Copper Hills Grizzlies really on both sides of the floor. You know, those passing lanes that seemed clogged by the long athletic players of the Bengals opened up a little bit. We saw Copper Hills be more aggressive offensively, defensively, played better D, made for some more difficult shots, and the ball just did not start to fall anymore for the Bengals as they would see an 8-point halftime lead evaporate. They trailed 43-40. Again, it was Charlie Strong, the sophomore, who hit 2 more threes in that third quarter, and then in the fourth, Copper Hills would just continue to push the pace, and they really did a nice job in that second half, crashing the boards, limiting the opportunities by the Bengals. We saw very aggressive offensive rebounding in the first half by the Bengals. That was negated in the second half. Better shooting for the Grizzlies, a little cooler shooting for the Bengals, and in the end, it would all be a 71-65 final in favor of the home squad, Copper Hills. With that, the Grizzlies, as we mentioned, have secured a berth in the state playoffs. Don't know the seeding yet. That's still up for grabs. But they have punched a ticket to the state tournament for the Brighton Bengals. Their next game is against West Jordan, and that may be a winner is in situation. Still a couple other games we have to wait the outcome for, but right now the Bengals clawing for their life, trying to make the state tournament, but tonight's effort a little short in that second half and short on the scoreboard. And that's going to do it for us on this edition of High School Rewind. We want to thank you for joining us. For Tino Psyche, my name is Dane Stewart. We'll see you next time.